Okay.
It seemed like almost the theme was about a bounce back, about putting yesterday behind, doing things right, getting back to yourself. Was that sort of how it played out, and just your thoughts on bouncing back?
Yeah, that's the discipline in this league. It doesn't. You don't have to be a mind reader to figure out how we felt climbing onto that plane last night after a disappointing loss. And in that regard, I was glad we were playing 24 hours later. And today, by the time we settled into our team meeting at the hotel, that was behind us. And everything we discussed was about how we were going to prepare to get ourselves ready to get this game. And look, there's so many teams going through this. There's incredible lows, highs, bunch of things, emotions in between, and you just have to stay the course. We have 5 more games left of this regular season. Obviously, we have a big one in Indiana, but it was a good response, tonight. This was not an easy team to play on a back-to-back with their speed, athleticism, also their desperation, knowing that they had to win this game to stay in it. So we're just we feel grateful that we were able to get this one tonight.
Did you expect to play Tyler that many minutes, and that's how effective was he?
I didn't see how many minutes I played him. I'll probably get a stern talking to from the training staff, but he looked fine. And that fourth quarter took a long time. I wasn't planning on playing him, that whole fourth quarter, but there was timeouts, technicals, free throws, all of that. So I think he was able to manage it. The big thing will be, how he feels tomorrow. But he's really prepared, behind the scenes. Physically, all indicators are that he should be able to handle, that load. And it's just great to have him back. As head coach, didn't forget what he brings to the table. That skill level, the creativity, the speed, the quickness, all of that stuff is what we need. And sometimes, things happen during seasons where you can't control it. But now, things look, certainly brighter for us with our, basically full health, really for the first time in a long time.
What's it like to have all your toys again? I mean, to the point where someone who's been so prolific early in the year, Jaime Jaquez winds up being the 10th man to enter, and you have all these interchangeable pieces. What's it sort of like for you? On one hand,
it's great. It really is. Sorry to cut you off, but it is great, especially for this stretch run. Our depth, we always felt that it was one of the greatest strengths of this roster. And even in that role tonight, Jaime was terrific. He was really good. And the silver lining is that, through some of the injuries, he was put into a bigger role many times during the regular season, and he really responded, and had some adversity to be able to have to work through those things too. I think is great for growth and improvement. But right now, we need everybody. And that's what we talked about in the meeting, that this is not about role, it's not about rhythm, it's not about expectations, it's about pouring into the team, do what we have to do to get wins. We all want the same thing. We want to be able to do something special in the postseason. But it takes, a buy-in and an all-in mentality, and requires, of course, great teams. You have to sacrifice a little.
your thoughts on the aggressive bench? Jimmy, at his age, coming in after playing big minutes on the second night of a back-to-back, but really setting a tone, getting to the foul line, playing with aggression early. How helpful was that in the process?
That was the most important thing, was for Jimmy, was to set the tone for us early on. And then, fortunately, because that unit was in there in the fourth quarter, was able to control the game, I didn't have to put him back in there. But he had a mindset tonight. Bam had a mindset tonight. Terry had a mindset, and the rest of the roster for sure. K. Love just gave us a tremendous boost again. But to set the tone, and you set the tone for the game, everybody just follows along with that kind of energy. And then, with our depth, it showed that we were able to close out, the game in the fourth quarter with Jimmy and some guys sitting on the bench.
Defensively, what did you like in the second half? I think only 30% shooting seems like it really turned up a notch.
Yeah, a lot more discipline. You know, in the first half, we fouled too much and allowed them to get to the launching pad and get away from screens and get into the paint and get us compromised where we were fouling. The second half, I think we were much more disciplined, but we also upped our level of physicality and force, and that's a tough thing to do. You know, I think they felt us more in that second half. And we were able to do it mostly with our man, you know, in the fourth quarter, which is a good thing.
After they cut the lead to 4 there early in the fourth quarter, what was the key for you guys to be able to put them away?
Well, we responded with a couple baskets. You know, Tyler and Bam anchored that unit, and that shouldn't be a surprise. We just haven't gotten to that a ton this year because of injuries and everything. But it's a great luxury to have that available and have Jimmy and K-Love on the bench and to be able to push that lead. But defensively in the fourth quarter, I didn't see the numbers, but that was our best defensive quarter for sure to close out the game. And there was an overall sense of urgency. We knew what was at stake, and it was good to see us respond that way. All right, thank you.